kind of cut off, should I?
No. Is it live? I can't tell.
I think he jumped back over there.
It sounds... Yeah, we're
live!
live! Yay! We made it!
Bienvenidos, Freight fans. Welcome to the Horror Show News. Not with booze this week, because Cecil is on a little vacay work thing. And so I have co-host Marshall Parker with me this week to talk the news. What up, girl?
Hi, everybody.
So we are stoked to be discussing the biggest news stories of the week so far. This is the second time in a row that we're doing it live instead of, pre-recorded and with, overlaying the video and photos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So this is so we can interact more with you guys. And so without further ado, I think we should just jump right to this. Ms. Marshall, what up, Robert Soul?
What's up, Robert Soul?
Yeah, I think it'll be easier for you looking that way to see the comments, but yeah, so we're starting out with some Stephen King news this week. We've said countless times this is the year of the King, and biggest news maybe this week is that IMAX is going to be getting it.
What?
I know. So September 8th, we're all so stoked about this, but as if it's not tracking to be the biggest horror opening ever already. Mm-hmm. There's an 8-bit video game also that they just put out this week that you can play on the website where you're basically manning Georgie's a little boat.
Right,
and you have to pop balloons and stuff, and it's total 8-bit just like would be in the 80s. So, Marcia, I know you just finished reading this book.
Yes.
Was it your first time reading it?
It was the first time reading the book.
Okay.
And after I finished reading the book, I went back and rewatched the TV version of it.
That's what I'm about to do. I'm like right about where Patrick is about to get killed by the leeches. So I'm like almost 700 pages into my reread of it, and there was so much that I'd forgotten about it, like so many little details, and it's a ginormous book. It's like a door stopper kind of thing, but it's pretty worth the experience, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because there's a lot more, especially if you've never read the books and you just watch the original movie. There's so much you're missing from the story. And it really surprised me going back to watching the regular movie because...
How did it hold up for you?
It didn't at all because they would I understand you're not going to be able to show everything.
It's an abridged version,
right? You're not going to be able to show everything, but for what you are planning to show, at least show it or complete that segment.
It was TV too, unlike this R-rated version that we have coming. Yeah, so that's a difference.
Yeah.
I guess.
So it did have a really great cast, and it was top notch for what it was at the time. 1990. Yeah, but
John Ritter, rest in peace, bro.
There was a lot of stuff that I wish I would have been able to see. Like they actually have Patrick Hogstadter,
something like that.
Yeah,
we know he's in the movie. There's missing posters for him. He's seen in the first trailer.
Yeah, so. He was casted. So
he was the weirdest, sickest bastard in that. Like he's even worse than the main antagonist than Henry. So
worse than Henry. Henry had a little bit more to play, but
those two have a little thing too, which is pretty gross.
Yeah, and then the parents are gonna play a good role in this. You didn't see that much of the parents in the regular movie. A lot of because it is just based on the kids, you get to actually experience what they experience. And I love the idea that they are splitting this up. So I'm super stoked. I'm hoping we're going to get more than what we got from the book, from the original movie. So. Yeah.
So what do the commenters have to say so far about this first story about IMAX? Yeah, let's jump to the top. Yay, Marcia. There you go. What's up, Sandra? Hello.
Hi.
Brainstorm Horror, what up? How's it going, man? Yeah, IMAX, Rob. Crazy, right? That shows that this is just going to crush at the box office, I think. Little game sounds cute. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little throwaway 8-bit game like you would play. It looks like a regular Nintendo game, basically. Yeah. So, we also got Edward D. Yeah, what's up, man? Savini, Jason, and so on. So, yeah. Next story is going to be a little bit more about Stevie K. Now, I'm not sure if I've actually talked to you about this adaptation or not, Marcia, but it's another Stephen King thing coming to Netflix, and it's called 1922. It's one of the novellas from the Full Dark No Stars, which he put out maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, something like that. But it takes place in the 20s, and it's got this guy who convinces his son to help him kill the mother of their family because she they want to sell the farm. She's not into it, and they think it just has to happen. But she's kind of a bitch, and she's tough to deal with, and you can tell he loves her, but you know, he thinks it's what's best for him and his son. And so after they throw her down the well, it's all about them dealing with the grief and the guilt. It's got Thomas Jane from that Punisher movie with Travolta. It's also got, I can't remember the rest of the cast, but in any event, he's the main guy. You know, he was in The Mist. Thomas Jane's been in a ton of shit. Does the premise sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, it does. I'm always interested if Stephen King's involved. And unfortunately, there's been it's a hit or miss with any adaptations.
Even the ones this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just so much. It's hard to pull that material. Besides, you know, even like I was disappointed with like The Shining after rereading the books and stuff.
So the Nicholson one or the miniseries?
The Nicholson one.
Okay.
The miniseries, to be honest, I tried to watch 3 times and I couldn't get through it because
it's a little more faithful, but it's so low budget.
It's so dense. Yeah, it was really hard, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm always interested to watch it. I definitely will watch. I don't think I've read that story. But it's
good.
I'd be into
that
it.
whole collection of novellas is really good. Actually, and with Netflix doing this, that ups my faith a little bit in how good it could be, you know. And it comes out October 20th, which is a week before Stranger Things comes out. So another spooky thing in October to watch before. And we'll get to Stranger Things here at the end of the broadcast because there was a cool announcement there too. But
I do like that they're doing more October stuff because I'm going to be home watching TV.
Back in Maine?
You know, just in my house.
Oh, that's your house. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to be able to participate in much more than TV Halloween this year.
You will be about to have your child, right?
Yeah, we're close.
See more comments. Miniseries freaked me out. That's back to it. Any love for 1922, guys? No, I guess not.
I don't know.
Everybody is interacting, so that's good. That's what we want, is you guys actually chatting about these topics while we're here talking about them ourselves. So we're going to get to a third story. So I'm curious if you've seen any of the Dead Snow movies about the zombie Nazis. Did you see both of them or just the first one?
The first one.
Okay, cool. I saw it. I liked it. It was violent. It was kind of silly. You could tell it was influenced by the Evil Deads and things of that nature a little bit. But they made a second one, which people dug, and now there's a third one, which is coming, and it's apparently going to have a zombie Hitler as the villain. It's been confirmed by the director. What do you think?
Wait, is this the same one that we did a trailer reaction to where there was like a Hitler on top of a T-Rex?
No, that's a different series.
Oh,
that's where the Nazis are on the moon, and they had like
I
I forget the name of that series. So help us out in the comments, guys. But no, Dead Snow, like, whereas that was more sci-fi satire, this is like balls out horror. It's where these guys are out in there's somewhere in Europe, and there's like frozen dead Nazi soldiers, and they get awoken from the grave, and they start killing all these kids. And then the second one I regrettably haven't seen, but I like what the director's done. He also did our next story. He did the crazy Hansel and Gretel witch hunters movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. It was good.
It wasn't bad. It was popcorn fun, but
right. It was for the kiddies.
No.
I mean, it was a little dark, but not too dark.
Tommy Wirkola, and I guess he talked about this and the next story, which is about the Hansel and Gretel TV series, when he was making the press rounds for this movie, which was recently retitled Whatever Happened to Monday, which is with Noomi Rapace playing all of those different characters.
Okay.
Were you there for the trailer reaction for that one with us?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, that's another Netflix project.
Yeah.
So
Netflix is just hammering it out.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, they're going crazoid with it. So Dead Snow, Nazi, zombies, Hitler, kill the guy again. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm cool with that. Next story though is that Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. It was apparently originally going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
But now they're redeveloping it as a television series instead. So
is it going to be the same actors?
Unfortunately not. Jeremy Renner was in it. I forget the name of the girl. Probably no Funka Johnson either, because she played a pretty bad bitch witch in that. I thought she was good. Yeah, she was one of the highlights of it. But yeah, Renner is a big star at this point. I think that movie even sat on the shelf for like a long time before it was ever released, and so the sequel fell apart, but now being redeveloped as a TV series. That Wirkola guy said that he's got Mark Verheiden working on the pilot, and Verheiden has worked on he did work on Daredevil. He did some work on the Evil Dead Ash vs. Evil Dead series. He also wrote some awesome Aliens and Predator comics back in the late 80s and early 90s. So I mean, talented pair here, and I I thought the movie was pulpy fun, and so, yeah, I think it could live on as a TV series, as long as it stays as violent as it was before.
Yeah, are they going to just stick with the Hansel and Gretel, or are they going to adapt all the different types of fairy tales in it?
They said it's going to be, it's still going to be Hansel and Gretel out there hunting stuff, but it's not just going to be witches. There's going to be new creatures added to the mix and stuff, so maybe they could incorporate, like you were just saying, different fairy tales as far as, like, bad guys,
right? And kind of make it like
creatures.
The Grimm and Supernatural and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
more anthology with the stuff they go fight.
More fairy tale. Yeah. That would make sense to do it that way, because since they are hunters and they're going to hunt the supernatural, but the supernatural are fairy tale monsters, I think that would be neat.
Yeah. I mean, better than that. Did you ever see the, it was Terry Gilliam, and it was the one where Heath Ledger and Matt Damon, I think, were going around as the Brothers Grimm, and they were, like, kind of swindling people. They were acting like there was real monsters. You never saw that? I think it was called Brothers Grimm, if I'm not mistaken. And
I think I have. No, I have seen that. Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah, it was about 10 years old. It was when Heath Ledger was still alive, obviously. So, but that it could be a similar theme to that, but who knows? We will see. What we got for the comments here? Let's see.
Creepers, creepers.
Nazis or dinosaurs on the moon.
Oh my.
General plot of 1922. Well, yeah, we talked about Alex. The general plot of 1922 takes place in Depression-era Midwest, and this guy, played by Thomas Jane, decides to convince his son to kill the mother so they can sell their land. So there you go. What else we got, Marcia?
More about dead snow. There was something else below I missed.
Did I already scroll past it?
I meant...
First Dead Snow was great. Haven't seen the second. Yep, same boat. Rather watch Snow Day with the Snowplow Man. Oh, Mr. Plow, that name again. Nazis on dinosaurs on the moon. Yeah, that's a real thing, and it was Iron Sky. I saw somebody nailed it. Sounds the Game Zombie Trilogy. Not a story to insert.
Oh, it's Bradley. Hi, May.
Hola, dude.
Iron
What's
Sky.
up, man?
That's what it is. Iron Sky, too. That's what we were talking about.
You got it, Rob.
With that, yeah. Yay, me.
Yeah, yay for Masha. Alright, don't forget to tune into Twitch right after for some video game fun with Andrew. Yeah, there you go. Is that Andrew's handle, or is that Dave?
Which
or
one?
Is that the real TTTP? Yeah,
that's Andrew.
That is Andrew Mercer. There you go. Spread the word.
Cecil never understands that that's him. It's so funny.
Yeah, the real TTP. Oh, that's great. That's great.
It's me.
Okay. Yes, it was called Brothers Grimm. Chris got it.
Yeah.
Yes. What's up, Chris?
All right. All right, cool.
It's me. That is Mercer. Okay, so the next story is kind of a controversial one because the director of Jeepers Creepers did some very unsavory things. You heard about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are saying
bad touch.
Yeah. Good
touch.
Bad touch.
A lot of bad touch.
Bathing suit area. You know what we're talking. Terrible stuff. So many people have kind of said that he shouldn't have even been allowed to find funding, make this movie, and people should just boycott it entirely. What's your thoughts on supporting the art of people that have had really bad personal lives like this?
If the question is, am I not going to see Jeepers Creepers? The answer is, I'm going to watch Jeepers Creepers 3.
Yeah, same here.
Like, hey, man, if you don't want him to make money, then they can say, dude, you're not going to get any money for making this movie because of penalties that you breach a contract of diddling with small children. I don't know. Like... I look at it as this. Do I still listen to Michael Jackson? I do. Do I still watch The Cosby Show?
Michael Jackson was acquitted.
I still do.
Yeah, I still
Did I watch the O.J. Simpson movie? Mm-hmm. I did. You know, like...
Which one? The Naked Gun?
All of them. I totally understand why people feel the way they do.
Yeah, and we're not condoning anything, obviously. Hell to the no right there.
But I like Jeepers Creepers, and I want to watch the movie.
Yeah, and the plot of this third one is apparently about a group of, like, hunters led by Meg Foster that go hunting the creeper peeper, whatever the hell his name is, because they know the cycle has begun again and he's going to go out to feed, and so they're trying to find him and, like, kill him for good.
Yeah.
It intrigues me concept-wise, but, you know, once again, the director's name is Victor Salva, and he's got a big scarlet letter on him right now, and with good reason. So
I don't see him being able to do anything future, but you know, like.
He hasn't really done much else besides those movies.
Yeah,
you know?
But if you look at Jeepers Creepers, you kind of understand the whole, like, oh, this kind of makes sense. So this guy is such a creeper. Yeah. Like, look at the movie.
He lived up to the you know, concept he created.
He put the skin on the lotion and wore it, you know. So, I don't know. I mean, how, are you going to watch it? Are you going to boycott it?
No, I'll definitely watch it, although I must say, I wasn't the biggest fan of that franchise. I mean, everybody built up the first Jeepers Creepers, like, big time to me and said that it was one of the scariest things they had ever seen. I think it came out when I was still in high school, or I was, like, just out of high school. And so by the time I watched it, I thought it was okay, and the ending was dark and cool and everything, but nonetheless, it just didn't... Once again, the burden of expectation, as I talk about a lot on this show. So... But, you know, the second one was interesting on the school bus, but I guess this one is going to directly connect to the first one, and there's going to be appearances from the sister who survived, and so, I mean, if you like the storytelling, even though he has some weird little nods to his nastiness all over the place. Cavs Celtic trade, hey, this isn't sports talk, Mercer.
Get out of here with that.
Played the stupid It game longer than I should have. Yeah, it's a little 8-bit throwback game. I mean,
I gotta check this game out. I just haven't had time.
It's like literally just Pennywise in the middle of a sewer and like the boat going down and there's doot pop balloon doot.
Kind of like the old Oregon Trail, like when you're going down the river.
The graphics aren't much better now.
That's awesome. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, you know, the Pyramid Boy raises a good point. Roman Polanski had similar, at least as far as pedophilic stuff go down, and that's why he's still over in Europe, because, you know, he's still wanted on charges of, you know, having sex with an underage girl, and he was the director of Rosemary's Baby, which is considered one of the greatest horror movies ever.
It's one of my favorite ones.
It's good, it's scary, creepy. He did The Ninth Gate, which was good up until the end for me, and so, once again, it's like trying to separate the talent and the art from the person as a whole. I mean, I don't know. It's a paradigm. It's a dilemma, I think, for some people that they just can't seem to wrap their head around, maybe.
Well, I mean, I can understand, like, I wouldn't go to a website and pay money to watch him do these things to continue his stuff. I mean, to me, that's a direct contribution to his actions. But watching the stuff that he created, I don't know. I don't find it as being a problem. Anyway, sorry, lost my train of thought with that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I think we've lingered on this creeper just a little longer.
Too much jeepers on this creeper.
Yeah, seriously. Roman Polanski and Bryan Singer are both convicted for being with kiddies. Yep, that's actually true. And I still support Bryan Singer. I love his X movies, and although Apocalypse is just okay. Let's just sort through these before we jump to the last couple comments. Okay, Edward D. and TTP are talking sports over there. That shows they have common interest. I like that. But nonetheless, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What up, Will? I think we already said hello. Okay, everybody's just highing each other at this point. They should remake The Ninth Gate. You know, The Ninth Gate for me, Rob, was a movie that I thought built so much tension and interesting atmosphere and stuff, and then it was just the payoff for me that just didn't work. It was a slow burn with no payoff. And you know how I say I like slow burns, but they have to get to something eventually.
Right.
But in any event, we are to our last two stories now. Marcia, I'm curious if you have ever seen the movie The Island of Dr. Moreau.
I haven't, actually.
Are you at least familiar with kind of the concept about this weird island where this crazy doctor is trying to crossbreed humans with animals and maybe? Yeah.
I've heard of the name.
Okay.
Not really anything else. Like, I just never really thought... Well, you know how I feel about animals.
I know. And this one has lots of those weird moral dilemmas that they present because... are they humans? Are they animals? Whatever. Well, it was originally a movie in the 50s or 60s, if I'm not mistaken, but it got remade in the 90s, and it had a killer cast. It had Marlon Brando as the actual, namesake doctor. It had Val Kilmer in it. It had Ron Perlman as one of the monsters, and remember, Ron Perlman was the Beast in that 80s version of Beauty and the Beast, which was on TV. So,
I
he looked
that.
the half animal part, which was cool, and so I thought the practical was good, but it was apparently a really, really messed up filmmaking process because there was this guy named Richard Stanley who was originally directing the movie, and then like 3 days into shooting, Warner Brothers comes in and fires his ass, and they bring in John Frankenheimer, I believe it was, and he did stuff like Reindeer Games, and I mean, he's a French Connection too. He's an okay director, but I was really curious about what the original vision was supposed to be like for this guy, because he said they changed so much, and that's why he got kicked off of the project. Well, apparently, all these years later, since that 90s version that he got kicked off of, now he's going to do his version, and it's in pre-production, and he can't use the same weird monster designs that when I saw that movie as a kid in theaters, I thought they were creepy. He's going to do something drastically different, and it's a new script, and I guess he wants it to be either that was on my other note. So he wants it to be either a 3-part movie, or he wants it to be a 6-hour like television event, which is apparently his preference. And this whole production process was so effed up that they even made a documentary about it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that would be very interesting. That would make me want to watch the first one and then follow it up with whatever comes out after that.
Lost Soul, the doomed journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau is apparently what this was. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix or not, but it's a recent documentary. And so the guy's obviously, if it's like 20 years later, he's still pissed about his idea and his vision of the project not getting made. And so, I'm not really familiar with much of his other work. If you guys are in the comments, please, make mention.
Rubber Soul said that there is a documentary about it, so it might be the same one. So it may be on Netflix.
Okay.
So everything's on Netflix.
Remake Nightbreed. Did you ever see Nightbreed, Marcia? The Clive Barker with the monsters in their own other world.
No.
Shutter Island was good. Yep, the Val Kilmer one. Rob, correct. I remember my brother screaming obscenities at the end of The Ninth Gate. Yeah, it was, Fairuza Balk was in it, who went on to be in The Craft and The Water Boy, and she was in the underrated Return to Oz, which I love Return to Oz. Do you not feel the same?
That's the one with Katie Holmes, right?
It's Return to Oz. No, that was the one with Fairuza Balk, and that's where it's got the Pumpkinhead guy, and it's got the Wheelers, and it's got the Deadly Desert, and the Gnome King eating the eggs. Oh, that's great.
I feel like I should watch it.
It was one of when Cecil and I were doing our great horror debates about the kids and scariest kids movies. I think that's the one that I went with, and he went with, was it Little Monsters or Ernest Scared Stupid or something like that?
Ernest Scared Stupid. What a lame pick.
I think that is what Cecil ended up going with. So okay, so
you
Rob
can quote me on that one.
There you go. So Rob did say,
Hocus is a better pick.
That's the doc on Netflix. Okay, so you can actually check into the process. Let's see what James Miner here says before we move on to the last story. The 90s version had so much potential, squandered. Yep, that's studio interference for you.
So that makes sense because of the two separate directors and why it felt like it was two separate films.
Yeah,
so
it
good
probably
call,
kind of
James.
was. Yeah, totally. People are asking about AHS Cole reactions. Well, we did the one for the Comic-Con trailer, but there's been so many teasers floating around lately. Have you watched any of them?
No.
You're just kind of keeping your mind fresh?
On purpose. I was spoiled with season 6 and not knowing what was going on, and
you liked it that way?
I like it like that because I have no expectations, so I can just enjoy it for what it is, and I think that's just the best way to watch American Horror Story because so many other seasons got ruined for me because I wanted it to be something else. So
they love their mystery and they love their bait and switch with trying to throw people off the scent and stuff like that, which is kind of funny.
I like it.
I did watch the opening credits scene because I didn't think we were gonna do a reaction to the opening credits, and it is keeping with the politics, even though we were wondering how much it was gonna follow that. We'll check it out. Okay, we're on to our last story here in just a moment, guys. So if you have anything you want to ask us before we wrap things up here, once we hit around the 30-minute mark and Marcia can get on home. Does anyone know if it's available on Blu-ray? Nope. Panaman Boy, I am not sure if it's on Blu-ray or not. I know it had a DVD release, but...
Don't let Ben Wise play. James, you're funny.
Nightbreed lit. Ninth Gate was a letdown. It had a cool premise. I agree. Brainstorm horror. Buys friends, night-night. Don't let Pennywise bite. Yep. We all float. Okay. Absolutely love the Krampus film. Guy directed that.
River's Soul is funny.
Doesn't ruin movies. Does it, Jaime? Cough, cough, Dark Tower. That's what I was thinking in my mind as we were talking about that. Ugh. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So, Yeah, we're on to our final story, guys, and this is actually something that just broke today. Apparently, in a recent interview with Vulture, the Duffer Brothers were talking about the second season of Stranger Things, which I know you're excited about. I'm like on the same level. It premieres October 27th, but they confirmed that they are already greenlit for a third season of the show.
Yay!
And they're already in pre-production for it, like trying to get schedules set for the next year or so, and yeah, before those kids all start growing up too fast.
Yeah.
Season 3, yo, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know what to expect for season 3 because I haven't seen season 2, but all I can imagine is amazing things. I just want this franchise to keep growing for sure. There's just so much they can do with it.
I agree. Yeah, they laid the groundwork, the 80s throwback, because of, I mean, look at it and all these other things. It's obviously in full swing. It's recollections of our childhood, Cecil as well, so...
And the cast is amazing. The story writing's amazing. If they just keep going forward the way they've been going, I just don't see it going wrong, so...
Well, they did also say that a 4th season is in the works as well. However, the 4th season would, in likelihood, finish the story and be the end of it, so this wouldn't be like a 7-8 season run. They kind of have a story arc that they're hoping and looking to keep to. So what do you guys think? Season 3, Stranger Things, you excited? Let's see if there's any comments before we get to wrapping it up. Yep, they said possibly a 4th already. They did, Rob.
Rob's on it.
Indeed he is. What you guys got planned next for the channel? Next for the channel? I mean, still 2 episodes a day for the time being, and lots of new content. I mean, we're rolling out all of our convention interviews, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also...
A lot of good stuff came out of the Game Expo.
Yeah, you did a bunch of those, as did Mercer. I got to talk to the Mortal Kombat cast from the original game, which was dope, so yeah, I got those to look forward to. All the interviews from Mad Monster that we conducted, a few things from Phoenix Comic-Con, so... I'd say that's probably the biggest thing aside from looking forward to it in the next couple of weeks.
Get ready for Halloween season, too.
October.
We got to get that all planned out and get some special things planned for you all so you can join us with that. And
are you planning to go to the Halloween Horror Nights again?
I will not be attending Halloween Horror Nights, but I don't know if Cecil Jaime...
I know he wants to. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to because I just bought my ticket to go to the Chicago area to see Stephen King, Owen King book tour.
Yeah, priorities.
Yeah.
Tough.
He doesn't know if he's going to do another book tour in the near future or maybe ever. He's going to be 70 next month. And
wow.
We don't know how much longer he's going to be with us. I hope for another decade or so.
Why doesn't he come to Phoenix?
He's not going to LA. He's not going to Vegas. He's really not going to anywhere in the Southwest at all. He's doing mostly around your home area of the country.
Maine, yeah.
I don't even know if he's doing one in Maine, but he's doing like Boston. He's doing some stuff in the Midwest. He's doing like Milwaukee, and he's doing Portland and Toronto and a few others, but not an extensive book tour. And so yeah, next month at the end of the month for my birthday present to myself, I'm going to be going to the Chicago area, which should be interesting. Yeah. So Morsai King said possibly a 4th already. Yep. Great job, Marcia. Yeah, wasn't it awesome having Marcia on to fill in for Cecil and help out? This was a blast.
Yeah.
This was a blast. Yep, Sandra's signing off too. Will you guys be doing an early screening of it? We were confirmed for only 2 tickets so far. We are hoping we're going to get 4. I put into like some drawings for the same screening. We were hoping to at least get 4, 5, 6 of us. Who the hell knows? But Marcia, myself, Cecil, Luis, Dirk, Brittany, everybody wants to see this movie, as I'm sure all of you guys do too. So we will get you an early review. It just might not be all of us. Maybe we'll hold off on spoilers with the whole gang, you know, maybe for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe just do a regular review and then do a spoilers with everybody. Yeah,
do a
that could be fun.
Big group spoilers. That's what I think
big
maybe
group
I'll push
spoilers
for.
would be awesome. Or we could save it for the live stream.
Yeah.
And
that
then you all can go and watch it and we can spoil it all together.
Yeah, we can all talk about it. So
yeah, I like that. Let's plan on that. Cecil, write that down.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not here.
And lastly, we're definitely going to do a retro book review of it, I think, right?
Oh, we have
to. Talk about the book, and then also a retro miniseries review.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the miniseries in many years, but I did watch it about 4 or 5 years ago and felt it held up. But that was after I'd read the book 4 or 5 years before. And I saw the miniseries as a kid when I was like 7, I think, when it came out, and it really messed me up. So it's got that nostalgic place in my heart. But it's going to be interesting recomparing and then comparing even more so after we see this new film. So I guess that's probably a good note for us to end on as we just look at the last of the comments. Yep, Chi-Town Fly Down, Atlantic City Highway, haha, Stranger Things Season 2, yay, bye. I love watching it open night and live stream with you guys. Well, yeah, once again, I'm going to extend a grande gracias to everybody tuning in, and thanks for being my co-pilot today, Marcia. It was awesome.
Well, thanks for having me here.
High five, and gracias once again to all of you guys for tuning in. Make sure to jump onto all the Horror Show social media. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Horror Show 666. Instagram is The Horror Show 666, if I'm not mistaken, and we also have a Twitch channel, right?
Yep, we do. It is twitch.com. Oh wait, no.
I think it's
twitch.tv / The Horror Show channel.
Yeah.
Just go to Twitch and look for The Horror Show channel, and you'll find us.
Because I know you're very active on that channel.
Yeah.
I don't really have much time to game, but you, Mercer, Cecil, you're holding it down, doing all kinds of fun stuff there.
I love any excuse to game.
Very nice, Gypsy, very nice. So once again, thanks to all of you. Thanks to Marcia. And until next time, Fright fans, remember, stay scared. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Cecil.
Love ya.
We already answered that question.
And how do we stop this madness?
I don't know.
That's a good question. You guys are seeing us figuring out the...
How to... Do you click?
You are seeing us having fun.
Here, do you just file close? Exit? Oh, wait, go back to file.
Ah.
Go to...
Wait, I just don't want to mess anything up if we...
Just hit exit. Go to file, exit, or close. Just close it.
I guess that's what we're doing. We're closing it.
Yes.